Yeah, life. Life is the only thing we need. They need me to go, but I don't want to leave. Rest in peace.
Come right in. What up, podcasters? And one half of the Goldmembers podcast. Herb Reed, a.k.a. the Boston self-proclaimed mayor, a.k.a. the HBK.
And it's your boy Tyson, man, a.k.a. Jody if you know me, man. Magic if you dap me, man. You already know what it is, man. Happy to be biz at.
You already know, man. Happy to be back, man.
Biz at, you feel me?
This is like our second home in here, you know what I mean?
Word, man. We've been doing it up, man. Making sure we've been, taking
You
care of
already.
business, you know what I mean?
You already, but yo, shout out to all of our listeners, man. Shout out to everybody who's been rocking with us. You know who you are. We see you in the streets. You show love. So make sure y'all keep listening, man. Check us out every single Thursday. We dropping new episodes, and you can find us on all the top digital streaming platforms.
Make sure y'all definitely check us out at Goldmembers Podcast on Instagram, and definitely make sure y'all tap into us on our Facebook page, man. We definitely keeping that going. I ain't see them delete none of our stuff yet, so you know what I mean. We still on there rocking and rolling, man. So make sure y'all tap in with us on there.
Yeah, go out there, man. Yo, go check out the Facebook page, man. We got the full episodes up there. That's definitely a nice little feature that they got. So take advantage of that.
Word.
And this is season 3, episode 36.
Yo, it's crazy. It's episode 36.
Episode 36.
Getting there, man.
Episode 36, man.
there.
So go back, binge watch the episodes, man. Shout out to everybody who listened to us, like, to get their day started and,
Word,
you know what I mean, on their way to work and all that.
Cause I done seen a lot of people outside, man. They been asking, man, like, what's going on, man? Like, I need something, man. I'm like, man, we just working, we just, getting our shit together, making sure everything's straight, so that when we come correct. You know what I mean? But we definitely happy everybody supporting us, man. Juneteenth. That was one of them days, man. We was out there, man. We done seen so many folks, man. It was just good to be outside, man. It's summertime.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You know what I mean? Like, really, we trying to step it up a level, another level, and then on top of that, you know what I mean? Summer has started, so it just been a lot going on. This past couple weekends been crazy.
Ridiculous. It's funny because I spoke to bro the other day. He's like, nigga, where you been at? But I'm thinking to myself, like, nigga, I was just with you last weekend, nigga. But it just seems so long ago because much fucking happened in like the last 2 weekends, man. But it was lit.
Yeah, you know what it is, because we've had like several long weekends. So yeah, you're right.
We got another one coming up.
It was yeah, we do, right, exactly, this weekend. But it was Juneteenth weekend, man. Shout out to Juneteenth.
Word, shout out to Juneteenth.
You know what I mean? Like, we didn't get a chance to do an episode, but we gotta recognize Juneteenth, man. Federally recognized holiday. You know what I mean? The official end of slavery as we know it.
And I love what we did here in the city, man. Just what we do every year, but just the fact, it was like one of my first times actually going out there as a grown-up, really, like, buzzed and shit, like, kind of drinking and shit out there. Every time I went out there, I ain't never sipped, or I was, like, more kid in motion out there, you know what I mean? So I was just out there having a good time, man. They had all the fraternities out there, all types of food, drinks, everything. People film. It was no fights, none of that stuff. That's what I love about everything that happened at Juneteenth, man. And I hope we just keep that type of action going throughout the summer with all events.
It was lit. It was lit. The city definitely came out for Juneteenth. It's always been like that in Boston, though. Like for Juneteenth. It's not like widely recognized, you know what I mean? But we've always done it big at Franklin Park for Juneteenth, you know what I mean?
Word.
And it was definitely lit. Everybody and their grandmother was up there this year.
Word.
Shout out to all the organizations, you know what I mean? I was out there repping and all of that, the fraternities, the sororities, the nonprofits, the small businesses, all of that.
Yeah, man, like, just being out there, they had the music, everybody dancing. It just was a whole groove, man. The only thing that messed it up was that rain came.
Oh, yeah, the rain came.
That rain came and started getting, it wasn't even that hot yet, neither. It wasn't that hot yet. It was kind of still a little chilly out, but that was just New England weather for us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
But we went to that sneaker convention before that. You know what I mean? Shout out to Everybody Gotta Eat. You know what I mean?
Everybody Gotta Eat. They had another event this past weekend in Cambridge too.
Yeah. That one was pretty dope. It was like a sneaker and food convention and stuff, and it was a bunch of local brands. I spent about a cool $200. I went in there to to just show love. You know what I mean? Spent $200. You know what I mean?
Yo.
Bought a pair of sneakers.
Yo,
all that.
Nah, that ain't all he bought. I walk over to the lady. She like, let me see your bid. She just grabbed my bid. She start throwing all types of shea butter in my bid and shit. I'm like, damn, like, I want that. She get this dude to buy some shea butter for like
30 cash. She definitely got me for 30 cash.
Sent him on his way with a little doggy bag.
Yeah. But it's I
Nice
can't
though.
front. It's good shea butter. Like it's all organic.
Homemade,
It came in
yeah.
a nice container too. Like, and it's not really one of them joints that you could use it every day, but it is one of my special shea butters now. So like when I get dressed up and I want to smell good and I want to glisten a little bit, I'm throwing that one on. So I'm gonna have it for a while. So shout out to her. Shout out to her.
Yeah,
Shout out to everybody, man. I spent the cool $200 just walk, but it felt good though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt good to like support people's business, like her. Like she's making that like handmade.
Like I was in there. Matter of fact, we was in there entering raffles, not even staying for the goddamn prize. We
Right,
just like,
right.
yeah, like, come on. We just, you know what I
Right.
mean? We in here, we having a good time.
But I
I
really respect that. Like I respect like the small business owners and like the vendors who are out there pushing their product, like just with tables, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just by doing like vending, like I respect that grind.
It's a real hustle.
Yeah, I respect that grind so much. Like tabling at events, being a vendor. You know what I mean?
And you know it was so dope. I ain't gonna say no names, but I seen some dudes, just switching it up, going from the streets, and they in there, they got
They
sneaker
chefing
tables,
it up.
food, you know what I mean?
Lobster
Like,
tails. What's my
all that.
dog? What's
The
my dog?
CTC Kitchen, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, my dog, man. Shout out my dog, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking I don't want to say my nigga's name, man, but he was doing this sneaker thing, man, in there, man.
Who, Jose?
Nah, that's my dog, Jose. Nah,
Shout out to
yeah.
Jose. What's his lot of mercy and
yeah.
all that, man. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Jose. He want to
Yeah.
come sit down with us bad in the mouth.
Yeah. He got the sneaker station.
Yeah, he work at Lace.
Yeah, he work at Lace, and he got the sneaker station where he's
Sneaker
like
restoration.
Yeah, restoration and like revitalizing sneakers and all of that. So shout out to him.
Yeah, everybody was in there. They had everybody selling sneakers, man. What's dog from the Joe?
Was that homie I bought my plate from?
Nah, he was selling sneakers, dog from the Joe.
Oh, my dog Frig.
Yeah,
Shout out to
yeah,
Frig
yeah.
Fly.
Freak Fly was in there.
Yeah,
Fly was in there, getting
Friggity.
them kicks off. I seen
Friggity
him.
was definitely
He was
getting his
them
kicks off.
I seen him. I was proud
Word
of him,
he
and then he was
was.
low.
He had business cards.
Everything.
He was out there trading and like
love
selling
seeing
with the
that,
little
though.
white boys and all of that.
I love seeing that with niggas from the
Yeah,
street.
see,
man,
that's what
you
I
know
mean. I love that. Like, I
Silent
respect
moves,
that.
nah, I mean, I ain't trying to do too much. I ain't on stepping
He didn't
on
have
nobody's
none of his
toes.
niggas with him.
None of 'em.
He was dolo, like doing
him,
his vendor
getting
table,
to it.
like doing his thug. Like,
Yeah.
shout out to Frig Fly, man. Shout out to my cousin G Code too, man. My cousin G Code.
Where you at? Crown Legends?
Crown Legends. Shout out to Crown Legends.
man. Shout out to
Yeah.
Crown Legends too. man.
Yeah,
You
shout
know,
out to
we
them,
probably
man.
gonna end up sitting down with them at some point, man.
Yeah. Shout out to G Code Never Told, man. Came home, man, and really hit the ground running. Like,
Word.
extremely proud, bro. Like, I'm
Gonna
mad
spend some
impressed.
money with him.
Word.
gonna
And just
spend
like
some
go out
money
and
with him.
support him. Like he was the only reason I went. You know what I mean? To just like support him. Like
Yeah,
to
yeah.
just stand around his table. Like I wasn't gonna, even really think about buying nothing, but just standing around his table, just supporting, you know what I mean? Just adding to like the vibe. You know what I'm saying?
You
like
did, God. I slopped through. I came through after
Yeah,
work.
your
you know
mad
what I mean?
homies came
and
through.
Mad, our peoples was already in there. I didn't even know anybody was in there. I walk in, all my friends is there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Doing what they do. So that's what happens, man, when the city comes together, man. We went from there, we went to Juneteenth, man, and then it just was that from that. Like it was just just a whole good solid weekend, man.
it was
and
just
Father's Day.
positive. And it was Father's Day weekend. Shout out all the fathers.
Shout out all the fathers. We missed all
Father's
that.
Day weekend. Yeah.
All the fathers too, man. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
now, I mean, how was your week? Your weekend this past weekend?
Nah, this past weekend was crazy.
Yeah,
I
it
went up
was.
to I went up to UMass Boston. They had that dance competition.
Oh yeah, our nieces was in there.
Yeah, for all the young dance groups and all of that. That was dope. Yeah, our nieces competed in it. What's their group? The Little Romans.
You know what I mean? I don't know if what's the name of it was in it too though.
Yuri was in it. Yep.
They group was in it too.
Yep. Okay. I seen Yuri there. Yep. Yuri's group performed. Shout out to Lauren
my niece
and Taylor.
Yuri, man, because her birthday. It was just
happy
her birthday.
17th. Go ahead, give her one.
Shout out
man.
to Lauren and Taylor.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Shout out to them too, competing. I just love that our nieces is just out here, you know what I mean? Doing what they doing, man. Just making us happy, man. We used to be dancing back in the day, don't front.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was bring the hype, the exclusive East Coast hip hop and majorette dance competition. Shout out to them. Shout out to Bring the Hype.
Yeah, they've been traveling too. They've been going. They're about to go to Vegas this week and all that. Like they doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yo, that's dope. Like I love to see like, and my niece, like I know like Taylor, like they take it super serious. Like they be practicing at home
All times of the day and night.
all times of the day and night. But I love it though, because it's like they're so young and they're really digging into their craft and I remember that stuff. Like I remember like having performances and
In front of the whole
having
school
in
and
front of the whole school, in front of the whole community, having
Word.
games and all. Like my niece was crying after they killed it. Like their whole performance was fire. They was on point.
It's funny,
and
you
it was
say she
just
crying
like
'cause,
so
like,
big for her. Like she was crying.
I'm about to
after.
say it's the big pressure. Like I completed a big mission.
Yeah,
And I'm
like this is a
relieved,
big moment. Like
yeah,
you
I'm
know what I
relieved.
mean?
I remember them feelings.
Yo, those are the
Shit,
greatest
word.
feelings ever.
They are, especially like even after a game or anything, any performance after you, even a presentation in school, after you nail a presentation in front of the whole class. I know I'm being nerdy.
Nah,
but
for real,
That
nah.
shit feel when you can walk off, nigga. Like nigga, I know I got an A.
Yeah.
Like that shit used to feel crazy.
Yeah, that shit feel good. That shit feel
That's why I'm
good.
back
So
in school now, man. I ain't in the dynamic where I'm sitting in front of my
yeah, tell me about that. You back in school and all of that, man. Let's
Yeah.
kind of dig into who
So-
you are. What you doing?
I'm going back to school. Well, I'm about to get my master's at Wentworth right now.
Okay.
Know what I mean? I was just at my school. My little cousin Angel actually is about to commit to my school and be the starting point guard there. So I
Okay.
went up there with him the other day to, I have to pay my school so I can get my diploma to go and get my master's degree. So I went up there, I paid them. I finished up a class recently. So this fall, I'll be literally in class. You know what I mean?
What you studying?
Construction management.
Construction management. That's fire. What
At
made you?
Wentworth.
What pushed you to want to go back and study? Because you got your bachelor's some time ago. You always talked about going back. What made you want to jump into construction management?
Because I just figured we're always going to need infrastructure literally everywhere. We're always going to need somebody to manage a project. And I just went to school for business marketing. You know what I mean? It was business management, but my concentration was marketing. So that would made me like, I want something in management to like zero down in more. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, construction would do. I was going to do technology management, but they took that program away. So now I'm like, and plus you, like I got you helping people get into unions and stuff like that. I could help,
Yeah.
we could do a whole lot of stuff with that type of stuff that we're
Yeah.
trying to do. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I got that going on, man, and
Where you taking the classes at?
online.
But what's
At
the school?
Wentworth.
Oh, at Wentworth.
Yeah.
And you at Wentworth.
For free 99.
That's fire, my nigga. And it's free? How'd you come across that?
I'm from the hood. Coming from the hood.
Nah, that's fire. That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, on the humble, I'm a finish that up. That it don't take long.
Right.
It'll be like a year and a half, really. So sometime next year, I'll be halfway. I mean, pretty much done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too many classes. It's an easy little road for me. And I feel like now, when we was in school, our minds used to be all over the place. We young, we chasing all this. We doing mad shit, trying to play ball,
Right.
mad stuff. Like now, I'm just so relaxed. I could just focus on a class,
Yeah.
and I don't have like too much on my plate where I'm like, I'm flipping around and doing too much. Like I could literally cut everything off and focus on school right now.
Right.
Like I have that much, what is it, discipline and maturity, that happened over
right.
the years. So I feel like I'm just in a place where I could do it.
Right.
Who knows? Like after I get a master's in a year and a half, I might be talking about a doctorate. Like I might just start
Right.
going crazy now.
Right,
Like,
just keep
You
going.
know what I mean? I'm doing it, and if I don't have to pay, keep going.
Yeah.
So that's what made me go back, man.
Nah, I think that's dope. Like,
I
you
feel
know
like we've
what I
been
mean?
going forever. We've been going to school forever. So it's
Yeah.
like, why not just keep learning. I like to learn.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But I think that's dope to just like what even made me ask you the question about like what made you go into construction management is because like that's a very like dope skill set to have. You know what I mean? Like you kind of touched on it, but like having that knowledge, having that know-how, it's always going to be applicable somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you'll always be able to apply that somewhere. And I think that's dope. But just like, because I'm like that. Like, I'm always trying to, like, develop new skills. You know what I mean? Always in the realm of what I want to do.
Yep.
But I'm always trying to develop new skills or learn a new industry. You know what I mean? Just something that's going to contribute to, like, my value as a professional. You know what I'm saying?
And I always try to figure out something that's gonna kind of go hand in hand. Like for instance, me getting the real estate license. The only reason why I did it is because that's one of my classes in construction management for my master's.
Yeah.
I don't have to take the class.
Okay.
So that knocks the credit off right there because I got the license already. It's like, well, what am I sitting in here for? You know what I mean?
Right.
I already got the license. I'm in the field.
Right.
So that's the only reason why I went and did that is because that just knocks something off on the class. You know what I mean? So that just killed two birds with one stone.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like doing hand to hand shit. Like I know you're in that field. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Helping people,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You got your businesses and shit going on.
Yeah.
We need construction, nigga. We
gotta
doing
have
shit.
it,
We trying
yo.
to build infrastructure. We trying to build shit in general. We trying to do shit. So
Yeah, we gotta have it. Like that shit is so important. That's why like I was really like glad to hear you say that, and I wanted you to really talk about it. You know what I mean? Because like we gotta start like, you know, putting our people up on game to just
and we gotta put it out there.
Yeah, to just be like straightforward about it. Like, you know what I mean? And like I'm glad you brought that up, man. So yeah, like shout out to everybody that we just got into the electrical union this summer, man. Shout out to y'all. You know what I mean? We got I think we got 28 people.
I see a lot of hard helmets out here on my Instagrams and Snapchats.
We got 28 people in this year. All people from Boston, women, people of color, men of color, all going into Local 103, which is the electrical union, which is the international union, you know, throughout the country. You know what I mean? These are the people that do all the high voltage stuff for the skyscrapers, and they do a lot of the low voltage stuff too in like residential homes, businesses, commercial real estate, all that different stuff. And yeah, you're right to like, especially with the way that with the direction that the world is going in. You know what I mean? Everything's gonna be electrical and solar. Like they're trying to get rid of everything that involves gas and oil. You know what I mean? So everything is going to like, you know, solar power and clean energy and energy storage and all that type of stuff.
A lot of
eco. Yeah, a lot of eco-friendly stuff. You know what I mean? And you know, we're putting in 25 black electricians, 25 to 30 black electricians every single year. You know what I'm saying? So like if a fraction of those individuals start their own company, then we have dozens of black-owned electrical companies that we didn't have before. You know what I mean? So when it comes to like, you know, real estate, like on a residential level, like if you just want to be a homeowner for yourself and your family, you're going to need contractors.
You are.
You're going to need construction managers. You're going to need an estimator. You know what I mean? You're going to need a plumber, a landscaper, a bricklayer, a roofer. You know what I mean? A carpenter.
Yeah.
You know, but it's really on us. Like we have to like find our way into these trades and really like develop these pipelines for us to get into these trades so that we can, you know, when it comes to developing real estate and buying your own home, you can hire a black contractor, someone that you trust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And someone that's going to do a good job. And
somebody that's going to give you good appraisals and shit when you go and try to sell your shit at the end of the day. You know what I mean? When you're trying to make that flip, because a lot of the time they be sending white people in. And if there's black people, they'll tell you your house is worth a little bit of money and it's really worth a whole lot. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff like that going on. So imagine if you got somebody of your color, your skin color that you trust, and they trying to do right by you. You know what I mean? We need that. You know what I mean? So like he said, like everybody need to kind of get on that and kind of focus on something that's going to help build like towards the future. Real. If you can go back to school, go back to school. Like, I don't care if you're going back to do hair. I don't care if you're going back to nails. Anything. Like, I think people should just keep trying to learn and developing something because the world's not stopping right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, inflation's at a 40-year high. Like, people who are making $250,000 a year living paycheck to paycheck right now.
Right.
Like, everybody got to figure it out. Like, come together and figure it out. So,
Right.
You know what I
No,
mean?
absolutely, man. And there's so many different levels to it. Like, I love to see black people like being on this shit and like really pushing forward and everything. But, you know, we're so far, I feel like we're so far behind the curve that, you know, we're not even at the point where like we're scaling up. You know what I mean? A lot of us are just getting our feet wet into like entrepreneurship, into our industry. And our opposition, our counterparts, they're already at the level where they're scaling up and they're commercializing and they're mobilizing and doing all those different things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we're definitely behind the curve, but I think that's why it needs to be more of a collective effort. Like you touched on it like perfect. Like you're doing something to better yourself, but it contributes to
what's around me.
To the plan and to the strategy of us as a collective. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I feel like we need more of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need more of individuals like taking their skill sets, like, you know, like we've been trying to surround ourselves with more lawyers and more attorneys.
It's
you
funny.
Know what I mean?
It's funny you say that too, because like I literally sit around and I'll think about everything that I want to do, and I'll think about how I can help other people like with what I'm trying to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not even if they like want to work for me or anything like that, but like how can I help you with your business and help both of our business flourish type shit.
But you know, but that's B2B. Yeah. Business to business. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So there's nothing stopping you from starting your own construction management company. You know what I mean? And now you're offering that service to everyone. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that is like so necessary. Like we gotta have it, and it works. It works to the benefit of everyone because I plan on starting my own general contracting company.
Yeah, see?
You know what I mean?
See?
And so if I'm the general contractor on a $20 million project, then I can subcontract your company, you know what I mean? And give you $2 million out of the 20 to manage the project. You know what I mean?
And I divvy that down in between the people that work underneath me.
Exactly.
And I'm putting them on who's, you know what I mean? $100,000 a year for this, that, and the third. $150,000 a year, $200,000 a year for certain people who's doing certain kinds of jobs because they got experience in the field.
Right.
You know what I mean? They did the time. There's a lot of people, like you said, getting in these unions and they doing the time right now. They about to be graduating and stuff like that. Those are the people you want to be in contact with. Those are the people you want to be trying to build your business with if that's the business you in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying, you know, if you in something else, you might need them still.
Right.
You know what I mean? Brick and mortars ain't going nowhere for real. They're gonna be around. They might not, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, brick and mortars is gonna be around for
apartments a little while. They're always gonna need somewhere to stay.
Always.
People always gonna need somewhere to stay.
Always. Housing will forever be in demand.
Mm-hmm. And I seen some crazy shit where all electronic, like all cars are starting to become electronic. They're not even making gas cars no more.
Oh yeah.
Like they're making gasoline
by
cars.
2050.
Yeah.
By the year
like
2050. Zero gas and oil emissions.
That's scary.
Hey, that's pretty fucking exciting to me.
Nah, it's exciting.
If you're
I'm
in
just
the
saying,
industry.
I'm just saying, you see how fast they can do some shit like that?
Yeah, 2050.
Like even right now, they're showing us the effect of not having an electric car.
Oh yeah, with the gas
with the
prices.
gas prices.
Yeah, for sure.
They're just showing us like right now.
For sure.
That's
so
crazy.
So it's good, man. It's we're definitely looking towards the future. And I think we've been positioning ourselves the right way. And I love everybody out there that's doing the same thing, man. But, make sure y'all check us out on all the top digital streaming platforms, man. We dropping new episodes every single Thursday for y'all, man. So make sure y'all check us out. bro. Tell them where to get us on social media.
Make sure y'all check us out on at Goldmembers Podcast on Instagram. Again, at Goldmembers Podcast, and tap in on that Facebook page, man, and get with us. Hit us in the DM too. Comment on them pages and like and leave comments on our posts and shit like that. And on when you have whatever you're listening to us on, whatever DSP you be listening to, leave us a comment on there or a review. I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah, a review. Yeah, for sure.
They're not comments, they're reviews. My bad. So a review. Leave us a review on your Apple Music and stuff like that. That shit is dope. We like seeing that, and it makes our show go.
Yeah, for sure. So in other news, you know, the women of this country recently took a big blow. So recently, the Supreme Court. Now, they had put out a memo or something before talking about their intentions to overturn Roe versus Wade.
Yeah.
Which, to my understanding, is what made it federally legal for women to have an abortion. But since recently, you know, the Supreme Court judges, they basically took a vote and made a motion to do just that, to overturn the Roe versus Wade ruling. And
it was an uproar.
And to my understanding, what that does is that gives sovereignty back to the states for each individual state to decide whether abortion is legal or not in their giving state. So basically, it basically made it federally illegal.
22 states so far.
So in 22 states so far have ruled abortions illegal.
Yep.
In their state. What do you think about that? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
I kind of spoke to you a little bit about it off mic a little bit, because I kind of sat back and I kind of indulged in it a little bit, and I'm like, the majority is becoming a minority, is what I was thinking. So I feel as though, like, I love white people, you know what I mean? But I feel as though it's a plight towards making more white people have babies. Like I was telling you, where I live, like, I don't live in the city, so where I live, there's fertility clinics out there. You know what I mean? But around where we're at, there's Planned Parenthood. You know what I mean? So they're not looking for a whole lot of us black people to be having babies, because we're starting to outpopulate white people here.
Right.
We're starting to outnumber them Spanish, black, whatever.
Well, we already live in a minority majority city.
Yeah, we already do.
Right. So
we already do. So, like, to me, I just feel as though that's what they're trying to do here with this whole thing. Like, they're trying to repopulate and trying to take back over. And like I was telling you about how the school, like my college got bigger, but there's less kids going to college now because there's less kids being born in these families, or even just making that attempt to go to college. And I think they're starting to see that, and how it's starting to slow money up. Like, they're not getting their money from schools and shit. You know, people got to pay that back over years and years of their whole life, pretty much. You know what I mean? There's a whole lot that goes into it. But to me, I just think it's very scary, and it's wild for women. Because, like, say if a woman is in a situation where they can't have the baby, or it's life or death, like, they have to now then call a doctor or a judge or something like that to get permission to have this abortion under these legal circumstances and in these situations, which is crazy to me. And it's not even like nobody's body. What if somebody says no, and this girl now passes away from some shit like that? Like,
yeah,
that shit's crazy. That's why I do love that we're in Massachusetts, right? Like that's what I love about Massachusetts. I already knew the women here in Massachusetts was safe. That's one thing I didn't know. I knew the women here were safe. They're actually mad, and they have the right to be mad, because it's, you know, they have family and people in other states and stuff like that. But I know it felt good on them in the inside, like, yo, like, here at home, like, we're good. Like, we'll be all right. You know what I mean? Like, we will still be able to have that. But I did see a lot of niggas, man, talking about they're going to get vasectomies or whatever. Ain't that what it's called? A vasectomy?
Yeah.
I see niggas talk about going to get those, which is crazy, because I heard you can reverse that.
You can reverse that?
Yeah, I heard you can get a vasectomy and you can reverse it. Like, you can get your shit back and have babies. Like that's not the same for women.
Yeah. Like once they tie their tubes and all that,
yeah, like they can't do that. You know what I mean? So it's like there's gonna be a whole lot more of that type of stuff going on out here, though. That's gonna be the backspin.
Yeah. Okay. Nah, I think that's a fair point. What do you say to the people who say that this ruling prevents illegal abortions? Like prevents, underage girls and like people who can't afford health care and all of that. Like this prevents them from going in someone's basement and getting an abortion.
I don't think it does, right? Because now you're making it illegal, so now they're more prone to do that, right? Because the state has made it illegal. So in those 22 states, if there's a young lady who's 13 years old or something, like say if there's somebody who's been raped and they have to get rid of the baby, they have to now like get that legally passed for them to get that baby aborted.
Well, depending on what state they're in.
Yeah, depending on what state they're in. That's
right.
That's what I'm saying, in those 22 states.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, now she might have to go in somebody's basement. But I did see an alternative, which ain't really an alternative.
Do you think she goes in someone's basement or she just decides to have the baby?
She might decide to have the baby. Or, like I said now, well, I didn't say it yet, but I did see a whole lot of jobs, which is kind of crazy. Like jobs saying, like, I think Disney or mad of these employees in big companies came out and said that they're going to pay for women to go to another state to get it done if they want to. But that takes away the privacy of the woman. Because now you got to tell them, you can't say, I need a sick day, because they got to pay for this trip that you have to take to go to another state.
But I kind of feel some type of way about that.
What
like,
you feel about it?
Your job would pay for you to have an abortion. Instead
that's
of
what you want. Instead of giving you a raise?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like,
but it's I think it's just the fact that the law was taken away. Like, but I do feel as though they should give you a fucking raise.
Right. If I'm a mom or a parent and I'm having a child,
that should be the other choice.
Why would you? You know what I mean?
Say if she be like, I don't want to have it by this person or this guy, and I want it done, so my job's gonna pay, and she gonna let the job do it. But if the job be like, I'll give you a raise. But how long does that raise last? Like that raise for 28? I mean, for 18 years?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it should. It should, because if they give you a raise, you know what I mean? If they give you a raise,
to leave that job, then you still got a baby.
Right, but at least you've hit that certain wage to where every job after that has to then meet you at that wage.
Okay.
So if I'm at a job and I make $60,000 salary, you know what I mean, every year, and most employers did have that mindset where it's like, instead of paying you for an abortion, we're going to give you a raise to help you be more financially stable. I think that's a big reason why most women have it, because they don't want to bring a child into a world of poverty or financial instability.
Well, and it's other reasons too, but
yeah, but I'm just saying, I think, but if
for your purpose,
yeah, so if you then give me a raise from $60,000 to $70,000, then every job after that has to pay me $75,000, $70,000 or better after that.
Do they?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going about your professional career the same way, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's how I've always.
But I feel like
that's how I was taught.
I feel like some of these people are like at jobs where they probably won't be there for like in a career wise. Like they might be working at a Subway or something like that as a person making subs and stuff, and they happen to.
Well, then should you be having babies?
No, that's why she's trying to get rid of it.
Well, no, well then you shouldn't be having. Well, I'm just saying. Well, no, should you be having sex? Oh. Because, yeah, hold on, listen, because a lot of people will say that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? My mother always hold on.
A lot of bums have sex. Like,
right, hold on. But listen, my mother, I made it to the age that I'm at without having kids. And nigga, my mother always told me, if you don't want to have a baby by her, then you shouldn't be having sex with her.
Oh yeah, that's agreeable.
That's what my mother always told me.
But a lot of the time, it ain't even the female's decision. That's a guy back there. She might have told him to put the hat on. He ripped it off.
But the ultimate decision does, end up with the woman. Guys really have no say in that.
No, she has to give consent in having sex. But
no, I'm talking about actually giving birth to the baby. Like, men have no say in that.
Men have no rights because that's their body.
Right, it's their body. Mm-hmm. I don't know, this it's tough. Honestly, for me, when I heard this whole thing, this was kind of like my aha moment. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of like I was sitting back looking like, I told you so.
I mean, we spoke about it before.
Right. But I've always been into the politics, right? Legislation and all that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And, for a long time, my message to specifically our generation was, be involved in your local politics, because what they do has a direct effect on what's available to you and what's not available to you. Remember, I used that example about when they put the lab rat in the maze and they open up certain avenues to that lab rat and they close off certain avenues to that lab rat. And that's why I made the point of, politics is not all about, what's available. Again, sometimes it's about what's not available. All of a sudden, they cut this off from women, and now women are going to feel the first-hand effects of this.
Yeah.
Literally on their body, on their lives, you know what I mean? On the child's life, you know what I mean? Like, that decision is now being handed down to the states, to your local government. So they're going to be voting on this right at the State House, right across the street from the Boston Commons. That's where the voting for this is going to happen at. You feel what I'm saying? And so if you don't have enough time, or if you don't have the wherewithal to go to that community meeting, to go downtown to that hearing with the Senate and with the House of Representatives, then they're going to be making a decision that directly affects your life. And that's the point that I've always been making. People have always asked, yo, why do you fuck with the politics? What made you fuck? Like, because I understand that they're making decisions that's going to impact my life.
Yeah, because I remember back when we did that Texas abortion episode.
Right.
That was like one of our first 2 or 3 episodes, and we talked about how they was like kind of passing that law then in Texas.
Right.
And that was just a way of them just, kind of testing it out and seeing how it would go in that one little state. You know what I mean? Then after that, it was like, boom, like they didn't really have a crazy reaction in Texas. Like some people felt a certain way. Let's see what happens when we do it in 22 more states.
Right.
When the Supreme Court passes it.
Right. But I want to keep this conversation going. But make sure y'all check us out on all the top digital streaming platforms, man. We drop episodes every single Thursday. Yeah, so that's always been my perspective, on it, is that
people got to get out there. They need to go to these state houses. People need to make their voices heard in these little towns, even these small towns. Like, it starts there, man. Like, once they make sure they can do it in certain places, they'll try more and more places afterwards. So it's like, if you see something going on, like we was talking about the fucking the bike lanes and shit like that. I heard them shits is about to be gone. Everybody been making complaints and shit. I heard they about to start taking some of those down because it's like, yo, they only used for 3 months out of the year out here.
Right.
It's fucking snowing 9 other months. Like,
right.
Why we have bike lanes that take up the driving lanes like that?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like people been making their voices heard with that. You know what I mean? And they kind of making little changes. So,
right. But I think I honestly saw this as a good thing, like for women. You know what I mean? And
because their groups are strong.
Right. But to me, it brings the decision-making process closer to you. You know what I mean? Because when all right, think about it. When it's federal, when something is federal, they vote on it in D.C. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we can't get to D.C. to be a part of those hearings. No. You know what I mean? At Congress. Mm-hmm. But when they make it, when they give the sovereignty back to the states, then all of a sudden you're dealing with your local politicians at that. So we can't go to D.C. for a congressional hearing, but we could go right downtown near the Boston Commons to the State House for, you know what I mean, a local state hearing. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So it brings the decision-making process closer to you. You know what I mean? By them, the same thing with the cannabis industry. Now, the cannabis industry, it's not federally legal yet, but it's legal based off of what states decide to legalize it. Yeah. And so that's why we're able to open up dispensaries here. You can actually, you know, like we have friends of ours that are opening up cannabis business in small towns in Western Mass. Yeah. Because they know the local mayor. They know like the local community groups. Yep. It's right there. They can touch them. Rather than dealing with Congress in DC, you can't touch them. You know what I mean? They're not responding to your emails. Never. You're not gonna catch them at no community events, but you might catch a local state rep at a community event. Yeah. You know what I mean? You might catch them at that local park when y'all are having y'all community day and field day.
Because usually those local state reps is who end up becoming mayors and governors and shit like that. So it's like you get your ear and you're bugging with them. They remember your face and see you on their way. They might end up hiring you, whatever the case may be. But you have some realm if you got certain points that you're trying to bring that's strong. Right. You know what I mean? Like you trying to help with something, then
at least you can reach them. At least you can catch them somewhere and say what you got to say, you know, to their face. At least you could take the train or, you know what I mean, march down to their office. Yeah. You know what I mean? How many people is actually going to take that trip to D.C. when they vote on certain things? You know what I mean? But it'll be a lot easier for us to organize here in Boston and get a gang of people to go down to the State House when they're making that vote.
Yeah, like I seen a whole lot of people like protesting in the streets when they first overturned it the other day. I seen a whole lot of people. I think I was coming. Was that Saturday they did that?
I think so. Yeah, it was.
Because I remember getting out of work and I just couldn't move nowhere. Like it was hard for me to get. No, it was Friday. Yeah. But it was hard for me to get to where I had to go on Friday because when they did that. But what did you think about them talking about getting rid of condoms, birth controls, and Plan B? Cause you red dogging?
Well, I don't know. My pullout game.
You just gotta go rare.
Shit been strong.
Going rare is crazy. 2022.
Hey, well, listen, I'm trying to have some babies anyway. So,
yeah, but
you know what I mean? Sign me up. Like, I'm trying to have some babies anyway. So, I really ain't even concerned with no contraceptives. No, you know what I mean? I mean, Plan Bs do come in handy, you know, but,
the placata.
You know, yeah. You know what I mean? Well, you know, I'm trying to, you know what I mean, sow my seed somewhere.
Yeah, eventually. But I'm just thinking, like, for the young boys out there, they got to strap it up. They wild and reckless.
Hey, listen.
And it's out here.
You know what I say?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
You know what I tell them. You know what I tell the ladies, and I'll tell the homies the same thing. This is what you need to tell the ladies, man. I ain't even gonna say it.
You ain't gonna say it?
I ain't gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it.
Stop. I'm not even gonna say it. Say it.
Hey.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a little too explicit.
Yeah, especially after that conversation we just had.
Yeah, it's too explicit. It's too explicit. I want to say it so bad, but it's not. It's too explicit. I'm not even gonna go there.
Oh man.
I'm not even gonna. Just, man, you need to just start, man. Turn to Picasso, man. Start painting, man. You better paint a face or two, man. You know what I mean? You better paint, paint some breastises.
What did Kim say? Suck it. No.
You're going to need it for the cum in your nose. You know what I mean?
Yo. Yeah, nah, that I mean that's just crazy, man. So I
Better
don't
get
know,
you a
man.
guzzler.
What do you-
better get you an old school guzzler.
This my whoo. Shit. Dr. Mike.
For real.
What do you think about? Do you think that it would be such an uproar on this voting if it was all women voting on the for the Supreme Court? Like if it was an all woman panel, you think that it would be like more of an uproar? Because it's women up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it don't make it right in no type of way because it's women up there. If it was all women up there, all women judges.
We'll see. That's what I'm always trying to tap into. Like, I'm always trying to tap into the other perspective. Like, okay, when you take it at face value, and not just with this issue, I'm talking about just with issues in general, right? When you take it at face value, yeah, the shit is wrong, right? But I do feel like there's another side to it. You know what I mean? And whether or not there are women who are standing on that other side, I believe that there are, because I have seen some Christian women come out and say, this was a W. This is a good thing. You know what I mean? I've seen white women say it. I've seen Latinx women say it. I've seen black women say it. You know what I mean? I think the overall consensus with it is that, you know, it's wrong, but there are some women that are standing on the other side. And I'm not a woman, but I always try to tap into what that perspective might be.
I don't think I would have ever, like, if I was in one of those positions, that I would like be like, go get an abortion, like as a man. Like,
yeah, I would never tell a woman to get an abortion.
Like,
yeah,
I try to find a way to give ourselves a raise, like you said.
right.
Trying to find a way to give ourselves a raise.
It's in the raise. You gotta, you know what I mean? But that's why. But you know what? Like, that's why, you know, our community, like, and I'm talking about the black community, like, we need to, like, learn to fucking stay together. Like, I feel like we've diminished the value of a relationship down to fucking nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially in a time where,
And it's for the expectations of
other people.
Like what they see in other things, and it kind of fucks up what's really out here in reality, like what you really can get.
Right.
Like there's really solid people out here, but you're like worried about all the wrong things, and
right.
It's kind of fucking up society for real. Because like you said, like I said earlier, there's less kids going to college because there's less married families. Like
exactly,
two parents in a
household, two incomes
could send somebody to college. One can't really send. We banking on a fucking scholarship,
right?
Or athletic scholarship, you know, academic scholarship or something like that. Because nigga, there's not two people in a household no more. And if there is two people, like if they could be in the kids' lives, like but. If there's one living over here and one living over there,
right?
It
doesn't have that same impact.
Yeah, it's just a little bit more strenuous, like
right. Yeah, one's probably on child support. You know what I mean? Rather him being there and actually contributing, he's on. You know, yeah.
Like still contributing into the kid and still paying child support. Whether it's a woman or does the woman get on child support? I did see that before.
I mean, it's not likely.
Few and far between, but yeah,
it's not likely. But I think that contributes to it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that, you know, and like the reality is, man, is that we bring children into this fucked up world. You know what I mean?
People always say we don't want to. I don't want to bring no kids in this fucked up world, in this crazy world, but the world's always going to be this way.
Yeah, most of the time we create the circumstances that we're bringing the child into. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you got to create your own world, your own environment, you know what I mean? Safe haven or whatever it is that you're trying to raise your child in, because that's capable. You can do that now.
Right. Because I wouldn't have been able to, if I got a girl pregnant at a young age, I wouldn't have been able to go home and tell my mother that I was having an abortion.
I wouldn't.
My mother wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
My mother would, like.
And right now they
wouldn't approve of that for me.
Right now they practically got the burner to a nigga, man. Like, yo, what you doing?
Look. My pops don't play, and he got 5 daughters. You get any one of his 5 daughters pregnant, you gotta marry him.
Yeah.
Pops be on that. And he got the bread to pay for the wedding. And he's letting you know that. I'm paying for the wedding, so that ain't no excuse.
Mm-hmm.
You're marrying my daughter. There's never been a talk about abortions.
Oh, yeah, no.
Ever.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like some people do grow up like with that belief.
Yeah. But for those who don't, though, like, I don't know, because I feel like it'll slow some shit down out here, you know what I mean? Like, people will start probably wearing more protection. And
I think people will be more careful about who they fucking.
Yeah. Some of you niggas are done.
It's too risky. It's like playing Russian roulette. Like,
nah, that nigga's a bum B. Not tonight.
yeah. I can't chance it.
I can't chance it with you, gang. I ain't chancing it with you, my boy. I ain't chancing it with you, my boy. I'm good.
They might be done. Yeah, certain niggas is done.
Niggas is done out here. You better get you one.
Some of these chicks is not gonna roll the dice for you, homie.
That's a tough shake.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough shake.
Oh man.
Yeah, man.
That's foul.
No, man. That shit's crazy, dog.
But yeah, man, we're gonna continue to follow that story, man. Mm-hmm. Shout out to all the women, man. Like, yo, we definitely here to support and like,
for sure.
You know what I mean? Sympathize, empathize, all those different things with y'all, man. Because, you know, again, I totally understand. Like, you know, they just stripped y'all of a resource, of a right.
And I'm going to continue to talk to women about it, too. I want to hear some of y'all points and views on it and see what y'all got to say about it, because I just feel like that's kind of important, too, is just for us to hear that and see y'all points and sides. I know we're going to hear some things, but I still just like to have conversations when I be out about it. So,
yeah,
y'all got something to say, man, let me know. I want to hear about it, too.
Yeah, for sure, man. But, yo, this was a short episode, man. We had to tap in. You know what I mean? For all of our listeners, all of our supporters, man. Shout out to y'all for always rocking with us. Again, make sure y'all check us out every single Thursday. We dropping new episodes. All the top digital streaming platforms. So check us out.
And definitely make sure y'all check us out on Instagram at Goldmembers Podcast and on Facebook, man. Tap into that Facebook group, man. We on there.
You already know, man. It's your boy Herb Reed, Boston self-proclaimed mayor, a.k.a. the HBK, the Heartbreak Kid, man. Check me out on social media at Herb Reed.
And it's your boy Tyson, man. Magic if you know me, man. I just messed that up, but it is what it is. You heard? Check me out on Instagram at Goldmembers only on Instagram, man. Check me out.
You already know, man. Goldmembers Podcast, man. We out.
It's the rush, you're trying to get my ass at it. They say I think ass backwards. Fuck how I act. As long as I stack, it's all mathematics. I tracks nice, hug the block, the track dice. Late night, club night, Maga track dikes. I pull up, Cadillac, truck nice. 2 guns, you know Mac pack, yak twice. Get stacked, crack back with that ice. No joke with the coke. I whip stack right, no doubt, never drought. Get stacked price, it gets stacked nice when you live that life. Poppy knows your name and you get stacked right.
Goldmembers Podcast.